was enjoying some fresh strawberries when my doorbell rang.
I wasn't expecting anyone, but I went and answered the door anyways.
No one was there, but whoever rang the doorbell had left an egg. It was covered in blue speckles and it was warm. But I decided right then and there, I'm gonna care for this egg until it hatches and be a bird dad. I made a little house for it by grabbing a box and putting grass in it.
Then I set up a heat lamp so the egg root would be nice and toasty.
But I was getting bored of waiting for him to hatch, so I decided to take him on a walk. Well, it was more of a roll. I taught Egbert how to skate and showed him to my dog, but then she tried to eat him, and I was like, after a week, my son started to get an attitude. He would just roll away from me when I was talking to him and then go play Fortnite all day.
But then one day we started arguing because the place was a chicken coop, and I got so mad I stormed off.
I started to feel bad, so I went to go say sorry, but he was gone. I ran outside and I looked everywhere for him. I checked the patio, I went and looked in the garden. I was starting to freak out when... Egbert? I was laying in the grass, trying to get a bee to bite me so that I could become one of them and pee honey and then sell it and become rich. But all I got was a lump and an allergic reaction.
But as my throat was closing up, a genius idea came to my head.
People buy things that belong to celebrities all the time, and the one time I sold my own hair, I got $20. Now, I don't want to go bald, but what I can do is scam. So I decided to sell Zendaya burps. I grabbed every container in my house and burped in hundreds of containers, and in an hour, I had millions of dollars worth of product. I set up my website, and the burps were flying off the shelves. I finally had enough money to buy my dream purchase on Amazon. So I ordered some uranium, hoping there would be enough to build my own nuclear power plant so that I could live on a deserted island forever. I was waiting and waiting for my package, and I started getting worried. My mailman always loses my packages, and uranium starts to decay if it's not held carefully. And eventually it'll Okay, so I don't think I'm going to the island.
Today was my first day working at Starbucks, and I was making a garbage water frappuccino. Until I realized this isn't a Starbucks, everything is fake. I'm in a fake Starbucks in IKEA. I ran as fast as I could to escape the fake Starbucks, and when I finally got out, I realized I still don't have a job. How am I gonna get enough money to buy a Shrek cardboard cutout? So I made a resume, even though I have 0 qualifications. I got in my car and drove to the haircut store, but they wouldn't hire me because they saw me give myself a bad quarantine haircut. So then I drove over to the grocery store, and then I was looking for the manager until some dude coughed in my face. I wiped the diseases off my face and then ran to my car to apply hand sanitizer. But I didn't realize I had a cut on my finger. It burned so bad that I passed out, but I was still driving my car and it rolled off by itself. When I woke up, I had no clue where I was. And my car was out of gas. I got out and realized I was in the middle of nowhere, but then I remembered I can just check my GPS and how did I end up in North Korea?
Stop the fish. Bruh, get over here.
What?
There's something in the water that looks exactly like me. What do you mean? We're cavemen. Let me check. There's one of me in there too. What in the... Bro, what are we gonna do? I know. Take a picture of it with your cell phone. Oh god, that is such a good idea. Let's do it. Okay. Alright, here goes nothing. No, bro. He's got the same phone as me and everything. This is so messed up. Wait, bro, do you think it's got meat on it? You know what? That's a good idea. Go grab the fire stick. Alright, thanks, bro. Okay, Bro, be careful. We don't know what that thing is. Bro, it just put out the fire stick. It's so powerful. We gotta go.
I was inhaling a cheese string when my doorbell rang. Now, I installed a video doorbell last week, so I checked the live feed and there was a box waiting for me. I wasn't expecting any mail other than a shipment of $20,000 of cans of baked beans that I ordered last night from Yugoslavia at 4 a.m. But it couldn't be that. I went to go check it out, and when I opened it, it was full of money. Like $1 million worth. I was like, where did this come from? Until I heard a tiny little voice coming from down below.
What? You don't remember selling pictures of me online to random people?
I was like, oh, I forgot about the feet pics.
So, you're gonna give me some of that, right?
I banged my toe as hard as I could, like 30 times against the wall. Anyways, now that I'm rich, I wanted to buy a mansion, so I went to the one place where everyone buys homes. Home Depot! I went to customer services, and I told the lady, hi, I'd like a home, please. And they're like, sir, this is a hardware store. And that's when my inner Karen came out. I screamed, what the f- I've made it 1.5 years on this app without swearing. I'll be gosh diddly danged if I slip up today. I love you, Jesus! Since it's now 2021, that means that the Global Panda Express is officially over. Oh, wait, I was just kidding. I meant the global pandemic is officially over. Now you might be thinking, how is that possible? Well, 2 weeks ago, I cured coronavirus by filling a bottle rocket with hand sanitizer and I sent it into the atmosphere. And for the past 2 weeks, the hand sanitizer has been spraying into the air. And people all around the world have been breathing in my vaccine air. Now, to test my theory, I decided today to see if I can find any pesky COVID germs lying around. So, I went to the gas station and I licked the debit keypad and then I licked my fingers after typing in my PIN, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then after that, I went to Panda Express and I enjoyed some yummy shrimp. But when I was driving home, I felt the COVID-21 germs from licking the gas station keypad bubbling in my stomach, and I went home and I fell to my bed. And I started coughing when all of a sudden I coughed up a piece of Lego, but I kept coughing and eventually I had enough Lego pieces to build a little Lego house. So maybe COVID-21 isn't that bad. I was sitting on the floor eating a Rice Krispie snack when my dad randomly came home with a dog. We don't have a dog. We have a cat. So what is that? And I said, did you just buy a dog? And my dad told me he just bought a dog. So, I guess I have a dog at my dad's house now. And I went to go pet it, but it keeps running away from me and looking at me like I'm a demon, which I am. But it still made me sad, and I was sitting around trying to figure out how to become friends with this baby dog. And then I realized I could probably give it something, like a treat. So I got on my butt and I went upstairs and I looked to the pantry and found some dog bones. I opened up the package and grabbed a bone, and then I slowly approached him and placed it on the mat. But then my dad's cat Luna got in the way. Anyways, I gave it another bone and it bit my hand so hard, like 3 fingers fell off. I had to call an ambulance. Just kidding. He let me come near, and when I touched him, he twitched and it scared me a little bit. But then I pet him. And now we're almost besties, and I took him on a little walk and took some cute pictures with him. So if you want to see more of Sammy, I posted the pics on my Instagram at benoftheweek. Okay, bye. Ever since Trump got banned off of every social media platform, I actually discovered the last way that he's been able to whine to his little Trump stands, since he can't be on Twitter anymore. And you're probably wondering, what is it? Well, last January, my number got leaked online, and someone took my number and gave it to the Trump campaign. So they've been sending me non-stop texts, emails, and calling me like once a week.
To support Donald Trump.
And whenever they call me, I, politely decline. Anyways, since he's been banned, it's been real quiet until one day I was drinking Red Bull out of my frog mug on the balcony when a piece of paper hit me in the head from the sky, and I saw a carrier pigeon flying away. Anyways, I looked at the note, and it was a note from Trump himself saying he's bored and losing his job and needs $50. So you know what I did? I went looking for the perfect pigeon to send back to the president of the United States, and I found a strong young pigeon with just a dash of rabies. I showed it a picture of Trump, pointed it in the direction of the White House, and I said, "Fly, baby, fly." Valentine's Day is in exactly 1 month, and I'm not letting you be sad and single like me. So, I made a list of 3 ways you can easily get a bae. The first and best method is to search up their Spotify or Apple Music and look at what their top songs are. And then you can take their top songs and put it on your story and pretend like you have the same music taste. Then they'll see it and you can tell them, why yes, I love Pilot's License by Olivia Mosquito. The second method is to buy a billboard asking your crush out, but that's kind of expensive. So, finally, the third method is to post TikToks in front of your house, making sure the street sign is visible in the background. Then when you get home, I just like to leave the door unlocked and post things that would really attract some new friends. This will invite plenty of new people to come to your house and meet you. Like there's this mysterious hooded figure that took all my stuff yesterday. I considered it a Valentine's gift from me to them, and I think we might have a spark between us. Today, I was in the drive-thru line at Starbucks trying to get the Donald Trump drink, which is just a cup that's full of sad old man tears. But as I pulled up, I was feeling generous, and I told the barista, can I pay for the order in front of me? And the Starbucks employee said,
that's so sweet. Let me bring that up for you. Would you like anything else?
So I said, can I get a cake pop and a white hot chocolate? But that's when the barista said,
that comes up to $94.24.
I stopped and said, what in the star did you say? And the barista told me they ordered 7 drinks, 4 pastries, and a travel mug. So I told the barista, hey, I'm actually just gonna get the cake pop. But the person ahead of me had already driven away, and they told me I had to pay or the cops would be called. So I pulled up and paid, but I wasn't gonna stop until I got my travel mug. I followed the car until it parked, and I approached the window, and I said, give me the mug! Anyways, look at my $94 Starbucks travel mug that I had to pry out of a soccer mom's hands. So, I lost my debit card for the 5th time this year, and the bank won't give me a new one, so I went to Foot Locker today to sell my feet pics, because I'm completely broke, and after looking everywhere and asking an employee, I could not find the locker full of feet pics, and I thought, this place is such a scam. Why would it be called Foot Locker if there's no locker where people can buy feet pics? That's when I had the realization I can make my own Foot Locker and sell my feet pics on the side of the road. I started by holding up an iPad with some samples, but people kept driving by and no one bought any. But you know what they say, baby? Work smarter, not harder. So when I got home, I started making a sign that said feet pictures $3. So I painted it real nice and then I hit the streets again. And when I got to a busy street, I taped the iPad to it with a Google slideshow playing with my feet. And I waved it around a bit more, but even that wasn't working. So I had to do what I never thought I'd do. I seductively took my shoe off and then lowered the sock off my foot. And then I started waving at people driving by with my feet. But it was too much. I ran home and felt so dirty and unwanted because no one wanted my little big So I have a chunk of dry ice from buying human organs off the black market, but I was thinking, how do you even get rid of dry ice? Like, it doesn't melt because it's literally frozen air and it repels water, which means it's homophobic. Oh wait, I mean hydrophobic. Anyways, I'm clinically stupid, so I broke a piece in half and plopped it in my toilet to see what would happen. And it was making these fun little bubbles, so I filled the bathtub and grabbed the rest of it and threw it in some water to see what would happen. And anyways, that was a mistake because it filled the whole shower up with gases, and I remembered it's not frozen air, it's frozen CO2, and I was getting lightheaded and I wasn't trying to die. So I took the piece out and I brought it to the sink and I jammed it down the drain as best as I could so it would go away. And then I took a deep breath of relief until I looked down to see I was standing in a puddle of water and boom, my pipes exploded. There was water spraying me everywhere in the face and got everywhere. Anyways, I may have caused a catastrophic water main failure in my whole neighborhood and flooded 102 buildings. So, I don't think the vegan chicken nuggets were worth it.
Today, I hiked up to the Hollywood sign, but there was a fence blocking access to it, so I committed a little bit of a crime, and I managed to get through, and I changed the sign to Holly Boob by covering the W with a B for boob. Anyways, I was walking down, and I saw helicopters flying overhead, and I was getting kind of nervous, so I ran into the bushes, and I hid from them, because apparently I was on government property, or whatever that means. Anyways, I got an emergency alert on my phone, and when I checked, it said that there was a $2 million bounty for a 6-foot man in green, so I realized I'll have to live off the grid forever in these bushes, with my only food being Lady Gaga Oreos that I brought as a snack. Anyways, I managed to sneak away to a swamp, but I heard the choppers getting closer. But that's when I looked in the distance and saw none other than a 6-foot man in green in the swamp. I had to act fast, so I grabbed my phone and I dialed 911 and I ratted on Shrek. Anyways, Shrek was arrested and charged with 8 felonies and I got a $2 million reward. So now I'm rich and I bought a mansion. Thanks, Shrek.
I was making sushi with raw chicken instead of raw fish, but I accidentally dropped it on the floor. And when I bent over to pick it up, I saw my legs and wondered if I could wax them so they would feel like 2 slippery hot dogs. So I canceled my chicken sushi, and once I was done cleaning it all up, I went to my garage to find a bottle of Gorilla Glue to wax my legs. But here's the big old catch. I can't make a single noise waxing my legs, because if I wake up my dog, she will literally pee herself in the beanbag chair. So with that in mind, I grabbed some plastic wrap and put the glue on it and made a little waxing strip. Then I knelt down and put the strip on slowly, and at first I was like, this isn't too bad. It just kind of feels kind of numb, and then it started burning, and I realized I had to do it now, so I ripped it off, and it didn't get the wax off! I panicked and I tried to wipe it off, but it just shredded the paper towel, got even stickier. And also my dog woke up and peed herself. But at least the sushi was kind of fire. Today I pretended to be in the hospital to get my celebrity crush to notice me. And here's how I did it. First I was editing my name onto a hospital band and one of the rows said sex. So I said yes, winky face. And then I walked over to my printer that I haven't used in years and I thought it was gonna light on fire, and somehow that old mama worked and it printed out my band. So I cut it out and put it on my wrist.
Drip, my drip, yeah.
And then I tore my bed apart and I ripped the bed sheet off my bed to wear as a little hospital robe. Then once I had that, I pulled my bed off and dragged it over to a blank wall. Anyways, then I made my room look like a hospital by taping hospital signage. And then I laid down in my hospital bed and I made the finishing touches with a phone charger, and then I put some headphones in my nose to really pull it all together. Then I finally took my Snapchat and I added a black and white filter to be all dramatic. And I made the caption, "Down bad, wish I had a big booty bee to give me CPR." And I sent it to her. Then I ripped all the cords out and the bracelet too, and I put my shirt back on. And I was waiting around when she finally replied. And when I opened it, she said, "Last night I went to Chuck E. Cheese to lie and say it's my birthday to get free pizza. And it worked, baby. But the place was terrifying and the food was even scarier. And after a few bites, I started feeling sick, like I had worms in my stomach. So I got up and I stumbled out of the restaurant and I went home. Then the next day, I scheduled an emergency Zoom doctor's visit and he told me that I'm lactose intolerant. And I was like, what the hell? I don't lactose. I got all 10, baby. But then he told me to put my feet away. And I was like, you're right. You should be paying me for this, not the other way around, buddy. And then he started telling me you can't eat pizza anymore. But his video started to cut out, but it's okay, because I know what lactose intolerance is. I can't have bread anymore. So I got rid of all my bread and dumped all of that fart food right in the trash. And then I grabbed some milk and chugged nothing but pure milk for a few days. And you know what? It was really good for a bit until I started feeling a storm brewing 10 times stronger than what Chuck E. Cheese did to me. So I immediately ran to the bathroom and... So apparently lactose intolerance is the milk one, but at least I don't lactose, baby.